hunting is a different thing, man. To me, hunting is this intense, it's very spiritual in a way.
We are here in Inglewood, LA, California. About to go do this Joe Rogan podcast, shoot some bows with him, you know. So it's kind of like a dream come true. I always talked about shooting with Joe. After the fights, I always kick the shit with him in the ring, like, when we gonna hunt together, when we gonna shoot together. And he finally reached out to me a few weeks ago, and here we are. Turning dreams into reality, baby.
That's how I know, 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 that's how I knew that I was different, that's how I know, that's how I know, that's how I know, that's how I know.
I guess off season you can eat that, huh?
Hunting season, baby. Here we want to eat.
Explain to people what this is.
Over here, that's, of course, it's bow stand. Right here, this is a draw board. You pull it back, you can get your draw length. Hook it up on there. You can check the tuning, see your cables, make sure they touch at the same time. Over here, this is your bow press. How you put the strings on. Sometimes I put mine in here just to do my extra work or whatever. You just use the regular old construction wood stand and fasten in. That's actually pretty smart. I drilled mine to my stand. You set this up. When you paper tune it, usually you had a piece of paper behind it, but you shoot through to see how fast it's going. And if you go through the paper, if the knocks leave 3 straight lines, line up and line left and right, it's straight, it's set. If it's pulling to the left or pulling right, you gotta tune the cables or turn the hi-hats. But this is cool. You see, like, he just got the basic stuff like I got. That's the same bow press I have. I built my own draw board, but that's just a basic one you can get from Lancaster for about 70 bucks. I just got a 2x6 and a winch and made mine.
You know, a lot of stuff you can do with or without, but the idea of parking your car and walking into your living room is the best.
Don't get no better.
No. And then walking into your training area. And
Lift, shoot, jiu-jitsu, watch TV, hit the heavy bag.
I never leave here.
I wouldn't if I didn't have a wife and kid. As good as they say.
What is it?
It's a target. She's supposed to be pretty indestructible. You can shoot broadheads and field points. You can see Jordan shot quite a few shots into it. I wonder how easy it is to remove the arrows, though. It is too, so he didn't even use this kind of shit. It's not real.
So explain the point. Like,
there's how many tips you see. You count them. So 1, 2, right here on the first ones. Then you got 1, 2, and if you see it's a little trash one right there. So that's 3 on that first one. And you go to the next one. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's got one little trash knock there. Corey, my man.
What's up, brother? How are you? Thanks for coming down, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. My pleasure. Did you bring your bow?
Yeah, of course I brought my bow. I brought the RX3 because I know you Team Hoyt. I brought the RX3. I know you Team Hoyt.
is it weird to see Joe outside of the ring?
It's different. I just want to see him for a short minute inside, have a little conversation. That's it.
You're gonna love this, man. I'm telling you. You play this once, you're gonna get fully addicted.
So is he like really shooting like animals walking around?
Yeah. It's all in HD, and that's a Kevlar screen. And you use these tips. These tips are flat, so instead of like a pointy arrowhead, they're flat like the head of a nail, and they just slap into that screen, and then it'll show you on the screen what part of the animal you hit.
What's the distance on that? 20?
I think it's about 30,
30?
but I could be wrong there.
When did you first get into hunting? Like, how old were you when you first got into real
I got into hunting in 2012. I was on a television show called Meat Eater. They took me mule deer hunting in Montana, and from then I got hooked. How many grains do you shoot?
How many what?
Grains? Your arrows?
Yeah. This is 260. I was shooting 300, but
That light?
yeah, the guy that got this bow for me, he sent me these, like, try these, bro, you'll like it. So,
That's so light.
but I haven't hunted with this bow, just target shooting. It worked for
How many
target
pounds
shooting.
you calling?
I pulled it, I think I 62, 63. I set it down that last week with my shoulder being hurt. I didn't want to keep pulling and pulling and pulling the same shit and get sore.
Great job.
I've been buying tree stands like crazy, and it's in the family. Yeah, she was like, it started in my dad's warehouse. Like, that's a real asshole move, babe.
You only are hunting these mature animals that have already passed on their genes. You also are recognizing that if you're not killing these things, they're not. It's not like they're going to live forever.
Right.
They live a short life with a very violent death. It's either wolves or mountain lions or bears or something's going to take them out.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is essentially dipping your toe into the natural world.
If someone like me who don't eat meat, don't eat animal products and wouldn't hunt for ethical reasons starts trying to impose on other people, no, you shouldn't hunt because of this, that, have you not watched Bambi? You know, like that's going to mean that people aren't able to explore who they are. I've let go of judging people around things that I don't agree with.
3, 1, boom. Corey Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? How are you, man?
What's going on, Joe?
We finally did it.
Finally did it. We here.
And got some techno hunt in as well.
Yeah.
That I told you about that game. That game's very addictive, isn't it?
I'm already trying to get back out there, do some more when this is over.
You get itchy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, man. That game's incredible.
I'm always shooting. I just enjoy it.
Wow. So is it like a part of meditation for you, do you think?
100%. Coming off the OSP fight, that was actually the first time I hunted in Jersey. I've been in Jersey since 2014 when the show came out. And after OSP fight and all that stuff, and everybody told me, like, don't pay attention. You was winning that fight. You got caught. Don't let the people get in your head and tell you you're not there. So actually, the next day I went home, I went and bought my hunting license and bought a stand and hunted in Jersey for the first time. And that helped me. I didn't think about it at all. From November to February 1st, I was in a tree stand every day.
Go in the bathroom and look.
What's the pig y'all talking about?
There was a prostitute, and
She's a
I was filming Fear Factor. She's eating a meatball sub, and she pulls out her tissue. She goes, "Hey, baby, you want some of this?" And we both start laughing, and I took a picture of it, and now it's up on the wall. That's like, but it looks like professional. Like that was a phone.
They
that
do
was
a lot with technology now.
That was a phone before iPhones. This is like 2003.
Joe, why did you even create the MMA show?
Well, I wanted a chance to talk about MMA in long form. You know, like sometimes it just seems like to have a show that's like dedicated to MMA, it just seems like it would make sense for someone like me to do, especially since I'm so interested in it. And it gives people a chance to get to know these guys in a way that they're just not going to. They're not going to with these little short interviews they do. And then also sometimes they're doing interviews with just regular press people that they don't know enough, they're not interested enough, they don't have a respect for it enough. And for me, it was just like, it felt like a wasted opportunity. You know, it felt like these guys, they needed another chance, you know, there.
Yeah, there we
Hey,
go.
Will.
We got anatomyofafighterdocumentary Fighter in the building, the Joe Rogan crew, everybody. You know, this is like a dream come true. I've always said I would love to shoot with Joe. Everybody else want to smoke with Joe. I just want to shoot with him. You know, to shoot and to get on the episode, and we had a good time. So
We did it. It was great. It was a great episode, too. It was a lot of
thank
fun.
you, Joe, for having us.
My pleasure.
Having us
Thanks
come
for
out
being
to Cali
here.
for this. But I guess gonna wrap up this episode. We'll see you guys on the tube. As we always sign out, love, peace, Afro Grease. Peace.
I like that.